It's time for your Riverside Sports Update. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. Now, this is an uplifting and pretty positive story I was excited to share with everyone. It's called Unified Sports. You may have heard of it, but if you haven't, it's where high school students with special needs get the opportunity to compete in track and field and in some cases swimming as well at the CIF level. King High School, for an example, has been doing it since 2019. In fact, King won a CIF Unified Championship back in 2022. To give us more information and insight, we have from King High School, Sandra Lowe and John Corona.
Now, Unified Sports has been going on for a while through the Special Olympics, and numerous states have been working at it at various levels. And Rob felt the Southern section needed to start, and he basically told us, everybody, all the coaches in the meeting, and there were Special Olympic reps there and some other people, and they said, this is what we're going to do. And we'd like you guys to spread the word. We'd like you guys to get on board with this. We think it's extremely important. So I listened to the presentation, and I thought, this is something that we've got to do at King. They'd have a CIF event, be the CIF finals. The kids compete in teams. You have a general ed kid competing with a special needs child. And the average of their times or their performance is taken to decide where they're going to place. So the very first year we did it was in 2019. And I think we had 4 kids total. And then we built it from there. 2020, things got stopped short because of COVID. In 21, the numbers began to grow through Saunders' efforts. And then in 2022, we had I'd say fairly large team. We had about a total of 16 kids total. And we won the first ever CIF Unified Sports Championship that year in 22.
But what has the reception been from a lot of the families that are involved, that these athletes have a chance to compete? And like Coach Corona said, they wear uniforms. They're out there representing King. They're competing in these events. I assume they get medals and, the whole deal. So what's been the reception like?
Incredible stories. The families are so appreciative. And I could give you names. We've had a few that even spoke at the conference that we had in Palm Springs that shared with other teachers and educators and parents. And they can't thank us enough. Like, just to see their students compete and be on a team, to belong to something, and to have that relationship with their teammates is amazing. Like, I don't know. Being a coach myself, like these moments mean everything to our families.
Where do we go from here now? I know it's growing rapidly, and more schools are getting involved, and there's track and there's swim right now. But where do we go from here?
Well, being on the committee, I have kind of like first knowledge of the next sport they're really talking about growing into, and flag football is probably going to be the next sport on the table to pilot or to like explore. And then we'll get together and talk about those rules and everything. Temecula is pretty dialed in. They have a unified league actually in their district.
The Southwestern League. The Southwestern League has a unified league.
Yeah. So, and flag football seems to be like a hit. So I know that Special Olympics is working with Mike West in regards to the details of that and how that would roll out.
Thank you, Sandra and John. What an awesome opportunity for these students here in Riverside. I'm Pep Fernandez, and that's your Riverside Sports Update.